Yo, how's it going, guys? Welcome to iAlmostHadIt. Today I'm going to be bringing you another possible plot leak from Game of Thrones Season number 8. So this was actually released by someone on Reddit a couple days ago, and a bunch of different websites have been covering it and stuff, and it looks legit. Like, he actually has like pictures of like the scripts, and just the way like it's titled and everything looks pretty legit, but you never know about these things. I just figured I would tell you guys because it is pretty cool. It's not like an episode by episode leak. It only contains like a couple pages from episode number 3, episode number 5, and then the final episode number 6. So we're gonna break all of those down for you. I was actually just looking more into this too, and it says like they're the exact same like writing format that was used in the leaks for season 7, and it was the same subreddit source. So I got a feeling these could definitely be true. But anyways, episode number 3. So the transcript reads, the wagon goes careening through the camp, past the rundown tents, the simmering fires, and the hordes of the undead. The hound squints his eyes from the front of the wagon. He can barely see a thing. The snow is falling faster and thicker now, more than ever before. The hound says a couple explicits that I'm not going to read, but I will put it on the screen. He then yanks the reins and urges the horses forward, gritting his teeth. The wagon gives a sharp wobble, and Tyrion falls back and knocks his head against the wooden railing. Tyrion says, might I suggest we go a little faster, Clegane? The hound says, if you want to die, Lannister, you're bloody welcome to jump off. Brienne then yells, look out. The hound leans forward, sees a blue-eyed figure standing in front of the road, and then gives the reins a sharp jerk. The wagon goes crashing to the right. Tyrion, Arya, Sansa, Brienne, and Pod all topple onto their sides and go knocking into each other. Podrick lifts his head, and then a single finger. We have company. Everyone looks back at the edge of the wagon. We can see a single decayed hand latch onto the wagon. It digs its nail into the wood and then pulls itself up, revealing Quono. Quhono. Quono? Sounds right. The tall, jacked Dothrakian blood rider is no longer himself. The skin on his face is rotten and peeled back. Bits of skeleton poke out of his arms, also decayed. He sets his blue eyes onto our group of heroes and lifts his arc. Alright, so next we have the 2 pages leaked from episode 5. The first one reads, Cersei pushes past Jaime and towards the throne. He turns on his heel, watches Cersei as she walks up those steps, a crazed look in her eyes. It's all too familiar for Jaime. Jaime says, Cersei, what are you talking about? She says, I'm talking about you, dear brother. You who defended our lecherous little brother. You who murdered our father. You who abandoned me in a time of need and consorted with the enemy. Jaime says, Daenerys is not your enemy. Jon Snow is not your enemy. The only enemies you have to worry about are outside the city gates right now. I guess he's talking about the White Walkers. Sounds like they've made it to King's Landing. Cersei takes her seat at the throne, saying nothing. Jaime inches closer to his sister. His face is contorted in a look of desperate pleading. This has to work. Jaime says, Cersei, you're an intelligent woman. You may be jealous, you may be cruel, but you know how to place your bets. Keeping the only man who can defeat the White Walkers in chains is not a smart bet. That sounds like she's got Jon like locked in chains. Cersei says, you would have me release a usurper? Tell me, after that northern fool and this white-haired blank defeat the Night King, what do you think will happen to me? Jaime says, you can't defeat the Night King on your own. Cersei says, can't I? Jaime pauses, racking his brain for what this can mean, and then it hits him. Alright, sounds like the next page. He says, wildfire? Cersei nods. Jaime says, are you sure we have enough catapults? Cersei says, we won't be using catapults. A long measured moment of silence here. Jaime looks at Qyburn and then to Cersei. He shuts his eyes. His worst fears have been confirmed. Then it says, Brienne and the Hound are still riding through the streets. The city is in utter chaos. Small folk are running this way and that, some clutching their families close, others taking what goods they can find and stuffing them in their pockets. Brienne glances up. On the horizon, the Red Keep draws closer and closer. Then it's back in the throne room. And that was in King's Landing streets, so now they're back in the throne room. Jaime starts walking up the steps to the throne. The mountain watches him closely, breathing heavily from under his helmet. Jaime, you can't do this, Cersei. There must be another way. She says, there is no other way. The city gates will fall in an hour. He then says, innocent lives are at stake here. 1 million innocent lives. Cersei fidgets in her throne, uncomfortable, and then tells him to get away from me. And last but not least, the page from episode 6 and the final episode of Game of Thrones season 8. Alright, so it looks like this is a conversation between Tyrion and Bronn, which means they both live, so that's pretty cool, because Bronn he's my favorite character. And real quick, what are your guys' favorite characters? Leave that in a comment below. Alright, so it starts out, Tyrion says, I hear my brother promised you a castle. Bronn says, oh, aye, several times, but now that the old blank's got himself killed, I reckon I'm not going to see neither brick nor mortar of any castle. Tyrion says, I wouldn't be so sure. Bronn raises an eyebrow and whips his horse to a halt. Come again? Tyrion says, "You proved yourself a capable warrior in the War for the Dawn. You helped vanquish the Night King and his armies. You single-handedly took out the Golden Company generals. The Queen does not forget your service, despite past grievances." Bronn says, "That's one way to put it." Tyrion then says, "Nevertheless, a Lannister always pays his debts." Tyrion leads his horse up to the crest of the hill. Bronn follows behind, stopping next to Tyrion to marvel at the twins, sitting idly and undisturbed in the golden sunlight. Tyrion says, "Consider the debt paid twice over." Bronn grins. Then they're in the courtyard of the twins. Tyrion and Bronn cross through the near deserted courtyard. And that's pretty much it. Not much, but holy cow. I'm so excited about this season. Like, hopefully you guys are too. Actually, it says on this page that I'm looking at some more info that the leaker gave. It says currently there's filming going on about Winterfell and the battle that takes place at Winterfell in 1802 and 1803, though there are sets that will double for other northern castles. Also some scenes, or he says, or one scene, I don't think it's in the season that much, at Pike. Isaac hasn't filmed much. Some scenes with Sam and Jon in what I imagine are the first few episodes. I know for a fact he at least makes it to episode 5. Daenerys is definitely pregnant. Emilia Clarke's really happy about that. He says, "Pretty sure Podrick dies. I know Tormund dies. Also, there's some scenes with one of the northern lords, I forget his name, fighting at his castle. I assume he's a goner." And Bronn casually mentions Jaime's death in that one page, so looks like Jaime might be dead too. And that's pretty much it. That's all I'm seeing on here. Like, holy cow. I'm super excited. Hopefully you guys are too. Definitely let me know what you guys think about this. Now this, like I said, it isn't like an episode by episode. It's actually just like a couple leaked pages. So I kind of get the feeling that this one may be real. It's like the exact same setup as the season 7 leaks. And yeah, I'll be posting like a picture probably of them on the screen. Maybe some text to follow along with. And yeah, I'm pretty stoked. So anyways, if you guys have any comments or questions or anything like that, let me know. Found it on a subreddit. It's gone already, but I did save it, so I'm not sure if you can find it again. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This has been iAlmostHadIt. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.